right, y'all. Inventory is still incredibly low, like getting lower by the day, right? And I've been talking about this for a while. That means if you are a seller, it is time to sell your house. You need to sell your house. You will be able to sell your house. And why I say that is because, and I've talked about it a bit on my stories. I've talked about it, you know, in different videos and posts and things. You can't even get in to see houses right now because the inventory is so low. Because they're already under contract within a couple hours of them hitting the MLS. Some aren't even hitting the MLS,
in
and that's
2.9
affecting
miles,
the
turn
numbers
right onto Hall Creek Road.
in closed transactions, right? Because they're getting off-market deals. You have agents like myself and those in my office who have different co-op groups and pages, where we can share properties that we know are coming. Our listings are coming on the market. And then someone has a buyer who's been looking for forever and they nab it up before it even gets onto the MLS. So huge benefit in having a buyer's agent right now is those off-market properties. But the main point here is that things are flying. So I know there's a lot of frustration if you had the house to sell, but you have somewhere to move, right? And you want to find that property before you sell your house, because it is frustrating, because the low inventory yields the same issues for sellers, right? Now you become the buyer and there's nothing to get. I understand that, but there are options. Spring market, you know, obviously nothing has been typical, we get that, but spring market will usually yield more homes on the market. So that looks like it's coming. So that means two things. First, if you are going to sell, there will be houses to come. Second, if you are going to sell, there are houses to come, which means the competition that is not there right now will be there in a couple months. So if you want to take advantage of this low inventory, now is the time. And that's all I'm saying about that. Okay, I've talked about those that are selling to then buy. What about those of us? And I'm going to tell you my story. I know you know a bit about it, but what about those of us who need to sell a home because we're going through a big life change? Okay, I just went through a divorce. I had a home that my ex-husband and I had bought only 2 years prior to us selling the home. That sounds insane. But even then, after only owning the house for 2 years, we still netted $8,000 on the sale. Not a ton of money, but it's money. We didn't lose anything. And that was due to just straight appreciation.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Hall Creek Road.
And very few minor improvements that we did to the property while we lived there. And that was last year. You're talking a 50% appreciation over the 2020 year. So now you're talking your property is worth even more money than when you bought it. And maybe you've owned your home for longer than those 2 years that I did. So let's say you're going through a divorce. Maybe a parent just passed away. Maybe you lost your job because of COVID and you've got to go move in with your parents. Hey, I did it. I'm doing it. I'm getting to where I want to go by making these choices. And I did, you know. Would I love to have not had that be my life? Sure. But this is reality that we're talking about. We're not talking about some fantasy land. And there are a lot of you that I'm sure are in the same boat for whatever reason it may be.
Stay in the second lane from right.
And if that is the case, and you have a property to sell, and you could be banking that money to get to that future you're looking for, why would you not do that? You know? Why would you not suck it up
at the light, turn right
for a few
onto
months
Hall
and go
Creek
live
Road.
with a family member, right? Or go live in an apartment, save some money if you could afford that, but you can't afford that house right now. There are so many options, but what I'm saying is if you own a home and you need to sell the house, I'm not saying just sell your house because I told you to, obviously. I'm saying if you have one and you need to or want to, now is the time, man. Don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to call me. I'd be happy to answer these questions for you. I'd be happy to give you this information about the value of your home. But know this, if you need to sell it, you are in a market where you will sell it. Now, there are those crazy properties, you know, if you've had 20 cats living in your house and it's, you know, it's stank up in there, I can't help you with that. I can't always help you with that, but even the cat house might be selling right now because of how few homes
Turn
there
right onto
are.
Della Lane, then turn left onto Apple Blossom Drive.
So just know that's what I'm talking about. That's what's the reality in my life. And I hope that kind of helps tell the
In half a
story
mile, turn
as
left
to
onto
what the
Horseshoe Creek
market's
Lane.
doing and what it's done. And man, if you have questions, just ask. All right. And if you want to take advantage of it, let's do it. Let's get that first appointment set up so I can come see your house and we can decide what the best course of action is going to be. So thanks for hanging with me. I know this was a long chat, but I felt like I really wanted to get out all of those different details and aspects there. And let me know what questions you've got. All right, talk soon.